What do we expect from Jaylen Brown? Because me personally, I'm expecting a huge development year. He's relatively in his prime, and Tatum isn't on a team, which means he can have way more shots. He can afford way more mistakes. It's not like it's gonna matter, since the Celtics are rebuilding anyway. But look, Jaylen Brown was a Finals MVP 2 years ago, right? 3 years before that, he made the All-NBA third team. Just last summer, he was considered the best second option in the league. Now, dudes don't even have him top 20, so what really happened to Brown? Well, first off, I think he torn his meniscus a little more than halfway through the season, so obviously that's going to affect their athleticism, that's going to affect their shot. So that makes sense why Brown played absolutely awful in the playoffs. But even then, there are a lot of problems this dude has to fix to be a first option for this team next season. First of all, his playmaking. This dude has tunnel vision every time he drives to the rim. You know, when Brown got drafted, I heard that a lot of people called him too smart for the league, and people are acting like that's a good thing. No, that's a bad thing, because that means he's gonna overthink every time he goes to the rim, and you kind of see that sometimes, right? You kind of see Brown just take up a bad layup, or just not even look around him. Sometimes it's like, am I watching a G League or am I watching an NBA? Second off, his efficiency, it's absolutely terrible. This dude shot 46% from the field last season. That's pretty awful for a dude who isn't even asked to shoot majority of the shots. I mean, Kobe was averaging that efficiency, shooting fadeaways every game, in an era with much less spacing and more physicality. Now, am I comparing Brown to Kobe? No, I'm comparing their shot selection though. Why is Kobe's field goal percentage and Brown's field goal percentage the same, when Brown is more of a slasher to the rim, simple mid-range pull-up type guy, while Kobe was shooting fadeaways from the top of the damn key? He also shot 32% from 3, which is a crazy regression, because I remember Brown early in his career. By the way, I'm a Celtics fan, and I was born in 2015, right? But even I got to see Brown shooting early in his career. He was a great 3-point shooter, and it always looked like he was gonna have that in his bag, the ability to shoot efficiently, especially from 3-point range. But last season, he absolutely disappeared. And here's another problem with this dude. And I'm not trying to be a hater, I'm just pointing out his flaws. And I'll point out the positive of God damn, nigga. And I'll pick out the best parts of his game soon. But another big flaw in this dude's game is going for the highlights, right? Now, in a league where a lot of players basically get rewarded for being a dumbass sometimes, I like to look at LaMelo Ball shooting one-legged fadeaways. Actually, I think it's just the best example in general. So just look at LaMelo highlights sometimes, and that's what I'm talking about. And you see Jaylen Brown do it sometimes too, right? Now, to really know what I'm talking about, you really have to watch Celtics basketball, but I'll break it down for you. Now, imagine Brown makes a three-pointer in the corner, right? Right after that, he'll do a step back fadeaway for no fucking reason. And then 2 plays later, he'll make a layup. And then the next play, he'll try to do a step back mid-range over 2 defenders. Like, sometimes it just annoys me. And those are the type of shots that make the Celtics blow leads. And blowing leads, of course, is more of a team problem. And I honestly think Joe Mazzulla should be fired, but that's another video. But whenever the Celtics do blow a lead, Brown is definitely a big role in that a lot of the time. And I've been hating for too long. Brown is only like, what, 28? This dude hasn't even reached 30 yet. And you're telling me this guy could be a first option for the Celtics for the first time in his career? Now is the time to go off, man. I really want to see a huge leap from Brown. And something else, playmaking, right? I just talked about how this dude has tunnel vision every time he drives to the rim. Well, now is the season to make those basic passes. Why do I say now's the time? This team literally isn't doing shit but rebuilding. You can afford the mistakes. Number 2, his scoring. His scoring should be way up, maybe even 30 points, right? Nobody on his team is really a dominant scorer like Brown. That means Brown has the free will to score pretty much any time he wants. Now is the time for him to do it. Now is the time for him to average more than 28 points a game. And number 3, leadership. And with no Tatum, now is the time for Brown to take over the team. Be the one who's directing the team. There's no other time to do it than now. And Brown should 100% be making the All-NBA team and the All-Star team, especially with the amount of highlights he's gonna have next season, or at least I hope so. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if Jaylen Brown fails to do at least half of what I said, then he's 100% not gonna be on the Celtics next season. Why would the Celtics keep paying a dude who has a supermax if he can't even make the fucking All-Star team on a rebuilding team? There's no reason. But I want to hear what y'all think, man. I know a lot of Celtics fans are gonna disagree with me, say that Jaylen Brown loves the city and that the Celtics should never trade him. I don't know about that, man. But do y'all think Jaylen Brown is gonna have a good season next season or not? And if not, why? If y'all like my content, I want to stay updated with the off season, drop a like, drop a sub, and most importantly, turn notifications on. And until later, I'll see you on Mars. Peace. Look, Rakai, I'm not gonna beef with you, bro. I'm not giving you any attention. Just fuck out of my comments, bro. Bye.
You telling me you falling out of love with me. Hope you can find someone to love you better than I did. Taking our memories on love and treating it like nothing. Taking our memories on love and treating it like gossip. It's my love for my grandmother make me gentle when I care for you. Tell me you're falling out of love.